I don't know, maybe a little bit. My name is Romain and I'm from France. I'm 28 years old and I live and work in Seoul. I think it's a stereotype, but I think they are not rude. Maybe sometimes they can be arrogant, but I think it's a very good cliche. It's not true. I don't think it's true. It's not that they don't want to speak English, it's that they don't know English. English class in France is very bad, so when they leave high school, they are not able for most of them to speak English. So people expect them to speak English, but they don't.
How do you learn English then?
I went abroad and I studied in business school and all the courses were in English, so that's why that if you are, for example, studying law or medicine, the courses will be in French, so they will be not able to practice English. I think it's true. I think it's just a way of talking. It's a behavior and don't be so shocked. It's very natural for us to complain. It's like speaking of the weather or...
Are French people romantic?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Maybe more than other cultures. Than, for example, if I compare with German, they're maybe more romantic. But they're not very, very romantic. It's mostly a cliche.
And do French people, French couples cheat a lot?
That is also a cliche. It exists in every country and in every culture.
Do you consider yourself as romantic?
No.
Why?
I want to find someone, but it's not my only objective. And why not being married or having kids, but it's not a priority. And I think in other countries it can be a priority for most of the women.
Marriage, is it very important to you?
No. I think in France, it's, for example, less and less people are getting married in France because it's very expensive and there are a lot of divorce. So maybe it's because they cheat, I don't know.
Can you share a study experience that you like in Korea?
Sometimes Korea is not very foreign friendly, especially in nightclubs. Some of the nightclubs in my area, for example in Gangnam, as a foreigner I can't get in, and at the entry they told me it's because you're French. So it's only for some nightclubs are only for Korean. It can happen. So I was very surprised.
Can you distinguish Asian people?
Before coming and living in Asia, no. But now, yes, I can distinguish Japanese, Korean is very easy, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai people. They have all, they want look and they want the face. Yeah, I can, with the face it's easy to distinguish.
Can you give one word to describe Chinese, Japanese, and Korean?
Korea, pali. Everything goes fast, so I think pali is a good word. And in Japan, I think it's perfectionism. I think everything is clean, it's done well. That's what impressed me in Japan. And China, I would say QR code everywhere to pay.
So, what do you like the most in the French culture and what do you hate the most?
I think it's related, it's the way of thinking of the French. What I enjoy in France is you have the liberty to think what you want. There is not a direct path like in other countries, and so you are able to criticize everything, to discuss about it, even if it's subtle. And but it's also counts because I have the impression that French people are never happy with anything and they're always complaining. So it's kind of related. Sometimes it's maybe too much.
What do you like the most about Korean culture?
I think it's the calm of the society. I think people are very polite, very calm, very patient. I really enjoy it. And the contrary, I think it's a notion of liberty, which is not the same that in France. You have to follow, to fit in the society, and if you don't fit in, you will not be accepted. And yeah, sometimes I have the impression that everybody has to do the same thing, think the same thing, wear the same thing.
So do you think French people, they are impatient and more like comparatively it is more impolite?
No, I think French are quite polite, but yeah, they are less patient than Korean and Asian in general. They will, if something goes wrong, they will directly criticize it and tell why it's happening. But finally, I was impressed during the COVID crisis because all the French were very patient. They really respect the rules. They stay in their home during 2 months. So finally, they can be patient.
The stereotypes that Korean people have on French people or white people in general?
The first thing I think is that they think that all French and foreign people, white people, are speaking English. It's not true. For example, I told to my colleague that my parents are coming in Korea and my father doesn't speak any English and they were super surprised. And another thing is that we wear lots of luxury goods on it's not true. I think Koreans are wearing more, are buying more luxury clothes, jewels, than I don't know if it's Korea or living abroad. Before coming to Korea, I already lived abroad, like in Spain and China. So I think it's quite same when you quit your country. I know now what I miss from France. And I realized that France has a lot of good points, and so I think I see my one country differently. I can compare, and it's very important. I'm becoming more tolerant and yeah, more open-minded.
And so you mentioned you lived in China before. What are the key differences between China and Korea?
Honestly, living in Seoul and Shanghai, because I was in Shanghai, it's two big Asian cities, so it's quite the same. Maybe I prefer, the nightlife in Shanghai, but I prefer maybe the vibe, the atmosphere in Seoul. Like I really enjoy the coffee, the style, the store. They are very original in Seoul. In China, they try to attract sometimes more white people in the restaurant, in the bar, in the nightclub.
What do you miss the most about France right now?
Of course, the food, the nightlife too, the old architecture, because unfortunately I think the architecture in Korea is quite recent, and I miss all architecture, all the village.
I think it's easy for you to date a Korean girl.
Yeah, some of them, like foreign girls, most of them don't really have a good English, so that's why they're a bit afraid to date a foreigner and a French. But if they speak English, yes, I will be more willing to be with a foreigner. But being in a couple during many years, being invest, I think it's another thing.
Do you have a lot of Korean friends? Is it easy to make Korean friends?
I don't think it's easy, but I don't speak Korean, and maybe if I don't speak Korean, it would be more easy.
Korean people in general are curious about friends or foreign people.
Yeah, I think they are very curious about France because the French culture in Korea is quite everywhere, and the culture is very present in Korea, in Asia in general. So they are very curious.
One thing you would like to share about France with people watching this video?
I just want to say that France is not Paris.
Okay.
Not only Paris.